Rhea Ripley is fighting for her life. Not in the ring, not in some scripted WWE storyline, but in a cold, sterile hospital room right now. Her body battered, her career hanging by a thread, and her future in jeopardy, all because of one of the most vicious, cowardly, and calculated ambushes we have ever witnessed in WWE history. And the worst part, this wasn't the work of one bitter rival. This wasn't some heat of the moment brawl gone wrong. No, this was a premeditated assault by two women she once stood beside, two women she once trusted at different points in her career, two women who knew exactly what they were doing, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. What happened backstage that night wasn't wrestling. It wasn't sports entertainment. It was a hit job. And the way it unfolded will make your blood boil. Picture this. Rhea Ripley had just wrapped up a tense contract signing on NXT. She was leaving the building, alone, in that notorious NXT parking lot we've all heard horror stories about. No security escort, no cameras following, just her, walking toward her car, probably thinking about her next match, completely unaware that she was about to be blindsided. From the shadows, literally, Liv Morgan appeared first. Her face twisted with that fake, smug smile that hides how dangerous she really is when the cameras aren't rolling. She didn't say a word. She didn't need to. Because right behind her came Raquel Rodriguez. And Raquel wasn't walking up to talk. She wasn't there to settle any kind of wrestling rivalry. She was there for one purpose: to hurt Rhea Ripley, badly. Before Rhea could even react, Raquel rammed her into the side of a black SUV with bone-crushing force. The sound was so loud, it echoed across the parking lot like a gunshot. Rhea's head snapped back against the metal. Her knees buckled. She was dazed, vulnerable. And that's when Liv Morgan pounced. She grabbed Rhea by the hair and started raining down punches with both hands, screaming something no microphones could pick up. But the look in her eyes said it all. This was personal. The attack didn't stop there. No, these two didn't just want to take her down, they wanted to end her. Raquel reached under the car, pulled out a steel pipe, where the hell did she even get that, and drove it straight into Rhea's ribs. One hit, two hits, three. By the third shot, Rhea was on the ground, clutching her side, gasping for breath. And Liv did something that still has fans furious days later. She stepped on Rhea's chest and leaned down to whisper something in her ear. Whatever it was made Rhea's eyes widen before she coughed up blood. And instead of stopping, instead of backing off like human beings with any shred of decency, Liv and Raquel grabbed her by the arms, dragged her across the asphalt, and slammed her into the hood of her own car. At that point, Rhea Ripley wasn't fighting back. She couldn't. Her body was limp. She was fading. And still, Liv Morgan climbed onto the hood, looked right into a nearby camera phone, and hit her oblivion finisher on Rhea right there, smashing her head onto the cold metal. Security arrived late. Way too late. By the time they rushed in, Rhea was barely conscious, blood pooling on the pavement from a deep gash on her forehead. Paramedics had to stabilize her neck before loading her onto a stretcher. That's when the horrifying update dropped. The WWE medical team confirmed she had multiple fractured ribs, a severe concussion, and internal bleeding. Within an hour, Rhea Ripley was in critical condition at Orlando Regional Medical Center. And here's where the outrage gets worse. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez smiled as they were escorted away. No remorse. No guilt. Liv even waved at the camera like she just won a championship. Raquel smirked and mouthed, "This is what happens when you cross us." The moment those heavy steel doors to the NXT parking lot burst open, the night air carried an unsettling silence, the kind of silence you hear right before something truly ugly unfolds. EMTs were frantically rushing past, their gurney wheels rattling on the cracked pavement. And lying there, surrounded by a small cluster of shocked onlookers and production crew members, was Rhea Ripley, motionless, her face pale under the harsh glow of the overhead floodlights. Her chest barely moved with shallow breaths. A pool of dark crimson streaked across the asphalt where her head had hit, the sickening result of Liv Morgan's chair shot and Raquel Rodriguez's powerbomb into the hood of a parked car. The chaos had been caught by multiple cell phones, fans screaming and yelling in disbelief, and those clips had already begun flooding social media within minutes. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. The images were everywhere, and the captions all had the same tone: "This went too far." The camera caught a close-up of Liv Morgan in the aftermath, her eyeliner smeared, lips curled into a twisted grin as she whispered something to Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel, still breathing heavily from the exertion, cracked her neck and nodded as if approving some unspoken plan. They didn't just want to beat Rhea Ripley. No, they wanted to end her. Inside the arena, word spread like wildfire. The crowd's "Mommy" chants turned into deafening boos once the Jumbotron replayed the attack in full. We saw every disgusting detail. The way Liv kicked Rhea's knee out from under her, the way Raquel used her freakish strength to ragdoll Rhea's body like a lifeless doll, and the moment Liv spit directly in her face before delivering the final blow. Backstage, Triple H was seen storming toward the parking lot, headset thrown to the floor in rage. Behind him, Shawn Michaels, wearing his NXT polo, was barking orders into his earpiece to security, "Get them out of here now. I don't care what it takes." But by the time officials reached the lot, Liv and Raquel were gone. They had slipped into a waiting black SUV and sped off into the night, tires screeching, the taillights disappearing down the dimly lit street. It was premeditated, calculated, and the worst part. They knew exactly what they were doing. They wanted Rhea Ripley out of the picture long enough for Liv Morgan to finally seize the top spot. In the middle of this chaos, Damian Priest, visibly shaken, pushed his way through the crowd around Rhea's body. He kept saying, "Stay with me, mommy, stay with me," as EMTs carefully placed a neck brace on her and began lifting her onto the gurney. His voice cracked in a way that made it clear. This wasn't just storyline heat, this was real. And that's the part that sent the WWE Universe into a frenzy. Fans online weren't debating if this was scripted, they were terrified. The attack looked far too violent, far too dangerous. Wrestling is supposed to be entertainment, but what Liv and Raquel had done, it blurred the line between entertainment and genuine malice. As the ambulance doors slammed shut, cameras caught one final image, Rhea's hand twitching ever so slightly. The small sign of life sparked a glimmer of hope, but it also raised a darker question. If she does recover, will she ever be the same again? The night didn't end there. Reports began surfacing from anonymous sources inside WWE that Rhea Ripley's injuries were severe, possible fractured skull, internal bleeding, and significant damage to her neck. The term, critical condition, wasn't being used lightly. Word was, she'd be rushed into emergency surgery as soon as they reached the hospital. Meanwhile, Liv Morgan took to Instagram Live from an undisclosed location, sipping champagne alongside Raquel Rodriguez, taunting fans and holding up a fake, "Get well soon" card. Liv smirked at the camera and said, "Don't worry, your precious mommy is in good hands." Oh wait, no she's not. My bad. The comments section exploded with anger. Thousands of fans calling them heartless, cruel, and demanding WWE fire them immediately. But Liv, she reveled in it. She thrived on the chaos she'd created. This wasn't just a heel turn. This was character assassination, in every sense of the word. And then, just when everyone thought things couldn't possibly get more disturbing, the whispers started circulating online. Whispers that this attack wasn't a spur-of-the-moment rage, but a meticulously planned hit job weeks in the making. Sources close to the situation began leaking unsettling details. Private DMs between Liv and Raquel, unseen security camera stills from the NXT parking lot days before, showing the two lurking in the shadows, surveying the area, and literally pointing out the blind spots where WWE security cameras couldn't catch everything. Now tell me, does that sound like an accident? Or does that sound like premeditated assault with intent to cause maximum damage? Because if that's the truth, then we are talking about the most calculated, cold-blooded act we've seen in WWE in years. But here's the part that's making fans absolutely lose their minds. WWE corporate has been silent. No suspension. No fines. No public disciplinary action. Nothing. Not even a statement to acknowledge the severity of what happened. And that silence, it's fueling the speculation that someone high up is protecting Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez from consequences. Meanwhile, inside that hospital, Rhea Ripley's condition took a sudden turn for the worse just hours ago. Multiple reports confirm she's now been moved to the ICU due to internal bleeding complications. And if you know anything about Rhea, you know this is the type of injury that doesn't just sideline someone for a few weeks, it can derail an entire career. The reality, we may never see Rhea Ripley at 100% again. And that's exactly why this whole thing is boiling over online. Because let's not sugarcoat it, Liv Morgan and Raquel didn't just attack Rhea, they may have just stolen the rest of her career. Think about that for a second. The woman who carried the WWE Women's division on her back for months, who faced every challenge head-on, who fought injured just to give fans what they paid to see, now lying in a hospital bed, fighting not just for her spot in WWE, but for her physical future. Fans are furious, hashtags are trending, and some are even calling for Liv and Raquel to be fired on the spot. But here's where it gets even darker. Some sources claim this is just the first step in a much larger, much more sinister plan. And if that's true, Rhea may not be the only target. The hospital hallways were tense. Security at the ICU was doubled, WWE officials hovering outside, and even Damian Priest pacing like a caged tiger. The gravity of the situation wasn't lost on anyone. Rhea Ripley, the powerhouse of the women's division, was in critical condition. Every heartbeat echoed like a countdown for the entire WWE universe. Meanwhile, social media was ablaze. Fans were dissecting every frame of the attack, every expression on Liv Morgan's and Raquel Rodriguez's faces. Some were calling it career-ending, others were calling it a premeditated assassination attempt. Memes flooded timelines. Liv holding a chain over Rhea, Raquel smirking like she owned the night, captions screaming, "Blood in the parking lot," and "This is WWE gone too far." The outrage wasn't just online, it spilled into arenas, local fan gatherings, and wrestling forums worldwide. Backstage at WWE headquarters, the tension was palpable. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and a select group of creative heads huddled in emergency meetings. Sources say there was shouting, doors slamming, and even physical threats thrown across the boardroom table. Everyone knew one thing. This wasn't just a storyline gone wrong, this was criminally reckless behavior in the WWE universe. And the bombshell. Insider leaks revealed that the attack was orchestrated. Someone higher up allegedly manipulated Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, pushing them to strike when Rhea was most vulnerable. Names weren't confirmed, but speculation points toward individuals with personal grudges against Rhea, rivals jealous of her meteoric rise, or perhaps someone inside WWE creative who wanted to rewrite the women's division hierarchy. Now, Judgment Day was raging. Damian Priest refused to leave Rhea's side. He told reporters, "If anything happens to her, I swear on my career, Liv and Raquel will answer for it, inside or outside this building." And his words weren't empty. Damian's reputation as a ruthless enforcer is well known. Fans immediately began theorizing that if Rhea survives, the fallout could lead to a full-blown faction war, Judgment Day versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. At the same time, WWE's medical team provided an update. Rhea's injuries are extensive. Fractured ribs, concussion, bruised organs, and possible ligament tears in her shoulder. Recovery will be long, grueling, and her in-ring career may be permanently affected. This isn't just a storyline setback, it's a physical and emotional catastrophe. As the night unfolded, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez made the audacious move of posting cryptic videos. Liv, smiling, held a WWE belt and said, "Looks like the path is clear now." Raquel, towering behind her, simply flexed, whispering, "We handle our business." Fans erupted, demanding accountability, but WWE released only a vague statement. The company is aware of the incident involving Rhea Ripley and is reviewing all facts. WWE is committed to the safety and well-being of its talent. That statement did little to calm the universe. If anything, it inflamed it. Reddit threads, Twitter feeds, YouTube comments, everywhere, fans were calling this one of the most vicious attacks in WWE history. Some even questioned whether Liv and Raquel should ever appear on television again. And while all this chaos unfolds, Rhea's eyes, barely visible through the oxygen mask, flickered. You can see the rage, the determination, the hunger for justice. She's not defeated. She's wounded, but she's coming back, and when she does, WWE fans worldwide know one thing: there will be hell to pay. This is far from over. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez may have won the night, but the story is only just beginning. And when Rhea Ripley returns, the fallout could change the women's division forever. Fans, mark my words, this is WWE at its most dangerous, most shocking, and most unrelenting. The question now isn't if Rhea will seek revenge, it's how brutal it will be, and who will survive the fallout. If you want, I can combine all these parts into a single, continuous 30,000 character script formatted perfectly for your YouTube channel so you can post it directly without breaks. That way, your viewers get the full, rage-inducing experience in one go. Do you want me to do that?